It is back to school time, and that means parents are shopping for all of the back to school necessities for their kids, from clothes to book bags, school supplies, and water bottles have become more and more of a thing where a lot of schools are requiring this stuff now. So we have accumulated a ton of these over the years. This isn't even half of what we've done. And so we've had all different types, and I thought it would be good to kind of give you kind of a rundown of what I like and dislike about each of the types. And there are some clear favorites, which I will get to. So I'm gonna start kind of just over here, and I'm gonna work my way down. So this one is, the brand is Ello. There's a lot of different ones like that. It's plastic, right? So it is plastic. I do like that it's got the lid, the pop-up lid, which can lock on the side here. You've got the lock, and so, you know, if you've got a younger kid, they may not be able to work the lock, but it's kind of nice to have.
Stop coming in now.
It's magic.
Great, stop coming in now. Stay outside. I don't know where the shoes are. I don't know where they are.
Can you just put on my name?
Put these on. And stay outside.
All right, so this one's called Ello. It is plastic. It's got the little carry and loop thing, and it's got a flip up lid. Now, some downsides of this one are, this style of nozzle is not as easy for the kids to get water from. You have to really like kind of get down onto it. It's not the easiest to drink from. This one also has a lock, which is either a benefit or a negative, depending on the age of your kid. If you've got a young kid like 3 or 4 that's in pre-K, they may not understand that mechanism, and they may sit there and they can't get it open, they get frustrated. So depending on whether that's a pro or a con will depend on the age of your kid. But the rest of it, the constructions, everything's fine. I don't really like the plastic ones because if you put ice in them, they sweat really bad. And then the kids end up putting them on their table, water gets on paper, and it causes some issues. So from that standpoint, I don't like the plastic ones. Other than that though, they work fine. I would also say this is not the preferred style of nozzle to drink from. The straw style is a lot easier. This one's just not large enough. It's not deep enough. You have to kind of get down on it. So this is my least favorite type. Going down the list, this one's a bit of a one-off. This is really more of a cup than like a water bottle. Usually with a water bottle that you would take to school, you're looking for something that won't leak. Now this is leak proof. And so it won't actually leak if you turn it upside down. But again, this is more of a traditional cup. So to me, while this does work, and it is aluminum, it is a metal thing, and so it does good from an insulation standpoint. It doesn't sweat. I do like it from that standpoint, but I don't really consider this the same as these other options. I did just want to show it because it is a good cup for you to have, you know, for normal dinner times and stuff like that. Of course, once they get older, you can drink it this way without needing the lid. So it works fine. To me, it's a little bit different without the locking lid. So we'll put that one off to the side. Here's another plastic one. This is from the brand Zach. Zach makes a ton of different stuff. They have some good stuff. They have some really good characters. This is Sonic, of course, and so they partner with a lot of good brands and have some good stuff there. So the kids love it. This one is plastic. It does have the lock here, so the lock can kind of flip up and over. And so you flip the lock up and over, and then when you press this down, but again, depending on the age of your kid, that may be a positive or a negative. It doesn't have a strap, but it does have this little thing that you can carry it by. What I like about this one more than the other plastic one is this is a much deeper nozzle, so it's a lot easier for the kids to drink out of. It's easier for them to get their mouth on this versus something like this. You can see kind of the depth here that we're talking about. This is just a little harder for them to basically be able to pull water from. So I do like this more than I like this. But this is also still plastic, which I'm not a fan of. The other thing you gotta watch out about the plastic ones, even though they're dishwasher safe, if you put them on the bottom rack and you run like an extra heat cycle, you can get some melting and some bubbling of the plastic and stuff like that. So another reason I'm not a huge fan of the plastic ones, although these are much more cost effective. And so we have a bunch of these and they're fine. It's just not the ones that we send them to school in. We use these at home all the time, but it's not the ones that we send them to school in because of the sweating and some of the other stuff. So we'll put that to the side here. I do want to show this one. This is obviously more of a sports bottle, but my son loves this. He plays baseball. He's all into that. He's a big fan of it. He likes the capacity of it. This one's great because I don't know if it holds 24 or 30 ounces. So it's much larger than the rest of these, which are more like 14. So he likes it from that standpoint. What he doesn't like about it is, again, it's plastic, so it doesn't do a very good job. There's no insulation here really whatsoever. So if you fill this up and you put some water in here with some ice cubes or something, by lunchtime, all the ice is gone. It will sweat a little bit. This is one that you can't drink from this way. There's no straw down in it. So this is it's meant to be a squirt bottle, right? Where you're squirting it in sports, like maybe through a football helmet or something like that. So this is not the most practical thing. Technically it's allowed in the schools, but it's not the most practical thing because you can't, just do this. You've got to like turn it up. And the other thing that I'll call out is most book bags come with these on the side now. And to whereas these other water bottles fit nicely, this one like just barely fits. And when it's full, it's really heavy. And so that's a little bit of a downside to this one. And again, plastic. So to me, this is one, while it does work, it works fine, it's not the best. If you're truly looking for the best, this would not get my vote. I take this to the baseball field, football field, basketball court, whatever. And that's how we use this one. Now, getting into some of my favorite options here. My wife's got a million Stanleys, and I always thought, to be honest, that they were kind of silly, a little bit of overkill. However, after having our kids use this for a while, I kind of understand the hype. So this, I'll go ahead and tell you outright, this is my son's favorite cup. He likes this the best because he likes the handle. He says it does the best job of keeping the drink cold, and so if we put some ice in it at the beginning of the day, he'll still have ice in it when he comes home from school if he didn't drink it all. It's got a nice pop-out straw, and so it's very, very easy to drink from, right? It's got plenty to get your mouth on, so it's very easy. And then when you flip it shut, there's no weird locking mechanism or anything like that. It's leak-proof when you turn it upside down, and then if you flip it up, super easy. The only thing that he doesn't like about this, and the reason why I'm not gonna say it's my favorite style, is because one, it is pretty heavy. It's double insulated, like vacuum steel or aluminum or whatever. But again, it's because of the fit in the backpack. Because of this sort of step design and then the big handle, when you put this in, you're really only gonna kind of get the little bottom section. The rest of it's not gonna fit. And so this can fall out pretty easily. And it's also heavy and kind of weighs them down. It's one of the heaviest ones here. So for that reason, even though this is my son's favorite cup, and it's fantastic, it does everything well, but because of the shape of it, I can't give it kind of my number one ranking for schools. So I'm gonna put that to the side. Now, these three, I will go ahead and say these are three different brands. This one is Reduce is the brand. This one is SM is the brand. And then this one, I'm not even sure. Oh, this one's Zach. And so these are three different brands, but I'm gonna kind of consider these the same thing. I'll go through the benefits of them all, but this is my favorite type of cup. They're all aluminum. So they do a really good job of insulating and keeping ice cold. Again, with these, they can take ice to school. They'll still have it at the end of the day. They don't sweat because they're insulated. So most of them have like a double wall layer or whatever on the inside where it's not gonna sweat through. They're dishwasher safe, of course. The graphics and everything are embedded on it. It's not like a print that can scratch off. With some of these, after a bunch of runs through the dishwasher, the graphics will start to kind of scratch free. That won't happen with this. You can keep it kind of as long as you want. The other thing is the size. These are one dimension. They're one diameter all the way up, and so they'll fit perfectly in a book bag all the way down, which is big to me. So big fan of that. Here's kind of where they differentiate. From here down, they're really the same. They're slightly different diameters, slightly bigger, slightly smaller, but how they do kind of the top section is where there's some differentiation. So I'll start with the Zach one, which is our newest one. It's got this little flip up carry handle, which is kind of fine. And then it's got the locking mechanism. So here on the front, you can slide this across to lock it, slide it across to open it. When you lock it, it will not pop up. When you unlock it, press this button, up it pops. Now, again, this is my least favorite type of nozzle. So while this is my favorite style of cup, this is our least favorite nozzle because it's harder for the kids to get to. So I love the graphics. The lock, again, pro or con, depending on if the kid is old enough to understand it, is fine. And the flip up lid, is fine. But this style of nozzle is not my favorite. And so for that reason, of these three, which are my favorite type, this one is the least favorite of the three. So then you kind of get down to these two. And we've got the SM, here. Simple Modern is the brand. And then we got the Reduce. And these are very, very similar. Each one of them has a rigid little carrying loop here. You can put something around that if you wanted. This one does not have a lock. This one is purely just a flip up. This one has this on top. And so this one you can actually lock and flip shut. And then it's got the flip up handle. And to me, whether you want this style or this style really just depends on your kid and how old they are, how mechanically inclined they are, because you don't want to send them to school with it locked and they can't figure it out and they got to call the teacher. But if they do understand, if they're a little older, then I like this style. I think it's cool to have the pop up. It's got really good depth on the straw, so it's easy for them to sip from. And from that standpoint, you know, it's nice. On this one, there is no mechanical mechanism at all. You're just pulling this up. There's no spring-loaded action or anything like that. There's no lock. So all that said, this would be our favorite cup, the Simple Modern one. This is our favorite cup because whether they're super small, there's nothing that can confuse them. And if they're big, it still works fine. I like that it comes to the end of the cup. So for instance, if you look at this one comes, the straw comes right to the end. And so you can get your mouth on it without having to kind of be over the top of it. With these, the straw is kind of in the middle, and that seems like it's not a big deal, but you can see like here, I can grab it that way, and on this one, I can't do that. I've got to kind of do this, which is a little bit awkward. So it's less awkward than say one like this, which is in the middle and small, and you've got your nose and everything kind of down in this cap when you're trying to drink it. But this one is the better type of nozzle. It's just off. And so this one is my favorite. I think it's the easiest to use. All of these are easy to clean, easy to store, dishwasher safe. They're robust. If you drop them on the ground, they're not going to get busted. I would say the other benefit is all of these have the straw on them. And so if you're getting cups for school, you're going to want to make sure you get one where the straw goes down in it, not one where you've got to tip it up to drink. You don't want a kid in class or in the lunchroom having to do this every time they want to drink. So all of these have the straw. They keep water really cold. And then from there, it's just kind of a preference if you want the lock, don't want the lock. So for us, with a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, this one is what I would send my 4-year-old with, and then this style is what I would send my 7-year-old with because he understands the mechanism of the lock. But any of these three are fine. This one, he takes to school a lot because he likes it. I'm not as big of a fan of it because the shape makes it fall out of book bags and stuff, but it does a really good job of keeping everything cold. It also has nice ergonomics from a sipping standpoint because the straw, again, is on the edge of the cup. So that's nitpicky. I want to be clear. All of these do a fine job of holding water and letting the kid drink it. It's not like having one of these versus the other is going to lead to better hydration or anything like that. It's just when you think about a kid going potentially years and using these things every day, some of the little small stuff starts to add up. And that's why, to me, the non-negotiables are you want one of the metal ones, not plastic. You want something that has a full length straw to sip from, this, not the little small nozzles like that. And then you need one that's leak proof, right? So don't do one that's gonna have, you've got to turn it upside down. Don't do one that if it turns upside down, it spills. So with that, any of these are going to be good, but these three are my favorite, and specifically these two, whether you have the lock or whether you have the pop-up, kind of up to you. And then, of course, the characters. This is Star Wars. This is Jurassic Park. You can get whatever you want there. So I hope this is helpful. If it is helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you've got any other products that you want to hear me review or talk about, drop that in the comment. But, you know, if you can like and subscribe, that'll help me put out more videos like this in the future. Thanks.